it's hard to know when you're seized by a vision exactly what to do next. And I do think it's also the case that a lot of serendipity steps in. In my case, the very next thing that happened, which wasn't planned, was that my parents invited me to go to Israel 4 days later after I resigned from the bank. And they had been planning the trip for some time, and they'd also promised that whenever they went to Israel, I would go, but I hadn't been available to go because I was supposed to be working. But in this case, I decided that that would be a good thing to do, because Jerusalem is that city which is iconic in the world for the intersection of peace and justice. We pray for the peace of Jerusalem all over the world as the holy city, which says, this is the test for whether we can live together, is this city. So somehow the fact that I was invited to Jerusalem seemed like it might have something to do with something and be worth going. So I went, and I spent that week in Israel really just with a very open mind and heart, listening for what was going to happen next, because I didn't have a particular idea about what should happen. And a lot of themes began to announce themselves, like the importance of place and identity narratives, the stories that people tell themselves about what matters and what the relationship is between peace and justice in the life of a city, and what the relationship is between the city and the desert that surrounds it, and the holy stories that animate people to act in a certain way. Anyway, I came back from Israel, did some account transitions at the bank since I had resigned and was leaving soon, and then went on an 8-day silent retreat. And that was a habit in my life, taking that kind of reflective time. And in this case, I suppose in my highest hope was that I would go on retreat and emerge with some clear sense of direction. That didn't happen, but what did happen on retreat was that I came out really being with one clear word inside me, which was treat this like a pregnancy, whatever this was, this word that was emerging. And I said in my own reflective meditation, okay, if I'm having a child, can I be told anything about the child? And the only thing that emerged from that was, this is a girl whose name is Grace and whose gift is imagination. So I went home to my husband and said, okay, humor me. We had 3 children of our own. Humor me and imagine with me that we're about to have a 4th child. And the only thing we know about this child is that the child has a great gift for imagination. What do we need to know or to do to be parents of such a child? And Howell said to me very wisely, and that would be the easiest possible child to raise. And I said, why is that? And he said, because if this child's gift is imagination, all you have to do is listen. And I thought, listen. So for the next 3 months, what I did in the city is I simply listened to people talk. And I asked them about their hopes and dreams for Chicago, and also about what kinds of things had worked. And I had a mandate for doing that because someone tried to hire me to do that on a citywide basis. I turned down the project, but I took the question. And after 3 months of listening to the city talk, it became clear that so many people were animated by visions that they saw as important, but that they didn't yet have a community to bring to birth. And the second trimester, I concentrated on looking at the economic future of the city. And the third trimester, I concentrated on talking to the existing leadership about what I could see. And at the end of 9 months then, I quietly sat down and went into labor and came forth with whatever vision was produced out of all of that conversation. And that happened on Labor Day in 19